There's a reason that American Ballet Theatre is now called and recognized officially as the nation's ballet company. And I think it's largely due to Lucia Chase, and she brought ballet to America. She said, we need to be a touring company. We are going to take ballet all over the world. So she was a pioneer, but based on not doing things on the cheap. It was, no, present excellence at every moment.
She really broke ground. She started a company in a country that really didn't yet embrace ballet. She started a ballet company that became world class. She pursued the arts in a family and time when that was not what was expected of her. My grandmother was born in Waterbury, Connecticut. She lived on Prospect Street at Rose Hill. After her parents died, she bought the house from the estate and continued to go there the rest of her life. So there were 5 Chase sisters. Her mother, Elizabeth Kellogg Chase, was the daughter of a U.S. representative. Lucia's father was Irving Hall Chase. He was the president of Waterbury Clock Company.
In 1913, Lucia Chase graduated from St. Margaret's High School in Waterbury at the age of 16.
Her high school yearbook mentions that she is the actress of the class and that if she decides to pursue a career in the arts, she will go very far.
After studying at Bryn Mawr for 2 years, Lucia moved to New York City to study acting, singing, and dancing.
She found it all fun and fascinating, and she made a life doing that. She always went every summer of her life to Narragansett, Rhode Island in the summer, where her parents had a house.
It was there she met Tom Ewing in 1926. Tom was a polo player and heir to his family's fortune. They married and eventually had 2 sons, Tommy and Alex.
And they just had a wonderful 6 years. And then he got pneumonia and he died very suddenly. And her world came crashing down.
At that same moment, she discovered ballet as a relief valve for the grief of losing her husband.
She started taking lessons with Michael Mordkin, who very quickly realized that he could do something with her, and so they built a company.
Lucia came along at exactly the moment in time when there was a creative force wanting to create a ballet company.
Under the Russian-trained teacher Mikhail Mordkin, Lucia Chase began performing leading roles in ballets like Sleeping Beauty and Giselle at the age of 38.
I was finishing my dancing career at 38. I think that she was starting hers is kind of unimaginable. But the thing is, everyone I talked to from that era said the thing is she had like an incredible presence. She was an incredible performer and a natural mover.
When Richard Pleasant was hired as the studio administrator in 1939, he conceived of a new company, Ballet Theatre, and with Lucia Chase's support, hired dozens of talented choreographers and dancers from around the United States and from around the world.
You know, at that time it was the precursor to what modern dance would become. You know, it was all those innovative collaborations between artists working as set designers, musicians writing librettos for ballets, choreographers bringing to life a piece of literature. It was a very innovative time. Agnes created roles on her like 3 Virgins and a Devil. You know, there's footage of her doing that alongside Agnes. It's priceless.
Ballet Theatre won high praises from audiences and critics alike, but the next company manager, Saul Hurok, was more interested in reversing course, back to performing traditional Russian ballets, than in ensuring financial stability for the company.
The company definitely would not have continued without my grandmother's financial support. However, she hated that. She didn't like to talk about the money she was giving. She didn't like anybody to know about it. And she really wished that it wasn't necessary. What she wanted to do was dance.
The Ballet Theatre Board appointed Lucia Chase and company scenic designer Oliver Smith as co-directors in 1944. In addition to her role as a director, Lucia continued to perform on stage, traveling around the world with the dance company.
Lucia, whenever she was with the company, she was one of us, and we were on the road constantly. We performed like 8 performances per week. The reviews were always fantastic.
After a successful tour in the Soviet Union in the mid-1950s at the request of the State Department, the company was renamed American Ballet Theatre in acknowledgement of its role as an American cultural ambassador. For 35 years, Lucia Chase continued the tradition of hiring the most accomplished talent to create uniquely American ballets for the American Ballet Theatre.
There was no doubt that she was the boss, and she was going to make all the decisions. She was a strong human being, and she was totally dedicated.
Lucia also continued doing what she loved best.
I think she danced her final lead roles when she was in her mid to late 60s. But I believe she was doing the Queen Mother in Swan Lake, for instance, into her 80s.
After staging a spectacular 40th anniversary gala in 1980, Lucia Chase was succeeded as director by Mikhail Baryshnikov. Lucia received many honors during her lifetime, including New York City's highest cultural award, an honorary doctorate from Yale University, and the Medal of Freedom from President Jimmy Carter.
I think the ballet world in America owes so much to her. She never stopped wanting to promote the art of ballet dancing in America.
In 1986, Lucia Chase died at the age of 88. Her legacy still lives on today.
Today, American Ballet Theatre is comprised of 90 professional dancers, over 300 students, performing the classics and contemporary works maybe 100 times a year in 10 different cities a year, all over the world.
I think she'd be thrilled with American Ballet Theatre today, that it is so strong and doing such varied works, and I think she would just be thrilled.